For years, I woke up 3, sometimes 4 times a night to pee. Then I found out my bladder was never the real problem. Here's what's actually going on. Your liver burns through its fuel while you sleep, and when it runs low, your brain flips on stress hormones that pull you out of bed. By the time you're awake, you notice your bladder is full, so you blame the bladder. But it's the wrong suspect. The next 5 shifts fix the real reason your body is waking you up in the first place, and most of them cost almost nothing. The first one is probably already sitting in your kitchen. The ingredient is raw honey, and not the processed stuff in the bear-shaped bottle. I mean raw, unfiltered honey that still has its natural enzymes and pollen intact. Your liver stores about 75 grams of a fuel called glycogen and burns through roughly 10 grams of it every hour. Eat dinner at 6, climb into bed at 11, and your liver is running close to empty. When it hits empty, your brain panics. It reads the situation as starvation and fires off stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to manufacture emergency fuel. Those hormones drag you out of deep sleep. Once you're awake, you feel your bladder and assume that's what woke you. It wasn't. Your liver sent the stress signal. Your bladder was just along for the ride. Raw honey carries a specific mix of fructose and glucose that goes straight to your liver and refills that glycogen tank without spiking your blood sugar the way candy or white sugar would. It also nudges your brain toward melatonin through a natural chain reaction involving tryptophan and serotonin, so you fall asleep easier and stay asleep deeper. How to do it? Take 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon of raw honey about 15 to 20 minutes before you lie down. Eat it straight off the spoon or dissolve it in a tiny splash of warm water. Skip the big mug of tea or milk, because a full stomach slows the honey down, and you want it reaching your liver fast. People hear something sweet before bed and assume weight gain. It runs the other way. When your liver is empty and stress hormones are high, your body stores fat. When your liver is full and calm, your body burns it. A spoonful of honey before bed supports your metabolism while it supports your sleep. If you only try one thing on this list, make it this one. It's the simplest, and it works on the deepest layer of the problem. But honey only fixes the fuel side. And there's a second thing waking you up that has nothing to do with your liver. It's the fluid that's been hiding in your legs all day. Step 2. The 20-minute leg trick. Gravity pulls fluid down into your legs and feet all day, especially if you sit at a desk or stand for hours. By evening, your lower legs are holding extra fluid you don't even notice. Lie flat in bed, and all of it re-enters your bloodstream and heads straight for your kidneys. Your kidneys turn it into urine, and your bladder fills up again right when you're trying to sleep. The fix is almost too simple. Prop your legs up at heart level for about 20 minutes in the late afternoon or early evening. Lie on your back with your legs against a wall, or stack pillows under your calves until they reach chest height. Do it while you watch TV or scroll your phone. This lets gravity drain that extra fluid out of your leg tissue while you're still awake. You'll probably feel the urge to pee during or right after, which is exactly the point. You're shifting nighttime urine into daytime urine. If your ankles or feet swell by evening, this step matters even more for you. Urologists at Cleveland Clinic recommend leg elevation as a first-line habit for people dealing with frequent nighttime bathroom trips. A 2018 study presented at the International Continence Society tested active leg elevation before sleep to see whether moving that third space fluid earlier would cut down on those trips. So far, we've handled the fuel and the fluid. But there's one more reason your bladder keeps interrupting you. And this one is the muscle itself, squeezing more often than it should. Step 3. The magnesium connection. The wall of your bladder is smooth muscle called the detrusor. Calcium tells it to contract. Magnesium tells it to relax. When magnesium runs low, calcium goes unopposed, and your bladder starts twitching even when it isn't truly full. That twitch is the urgent gotta-go feeling that wakes you. 3 large studies published in 2025 analyzed data from tens of thousands of American adults, and each one found that people with lower magnesium levels had significantly higher odds of overactive bladder and nighttime urination. One of them, published in Scientific Reports, tracked 28,621 adults and found that every 1-point drop in magnesium status raised overactive bladder risk by 9%. The most magnesium-depleted people had 20% higher odds than those with healthy levels. So if your bladder has been sending those 3 a.m. signals, low magnesium might be the trigger nobody checked. But population data is only half the picture. Back in 1992, researchers at St. Thomas Hospital in London took samples of actual human bladder muscle and found that raising magnesium reduced involuntary contractions. Then, in 1998, a clinical trial gave 40 women with bladder urgency either magnesium hydroxide or a placebo. 55% of the magnesium group reported improvement versus 20% on placebo, with no side effects. You can get more magnesium from food before you ever reach for a supplement. Pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, black beans, and avocado are all loaded with it. Pumpkin seeds are the richest common source, packing 156 milligrams into a single ounce. If you do supplement, magnesium glycinate is the form most often recommended for bladder and sleep because it absorbs well and is gentle on the stomach. Start with 200 milligrams in the evening and watch how your body responds. This is the strongest scientific anchor in the whole protocol, and it costs less than a cup of coffee. That covers the muscle. The last 2 steps are about the fluid itself and where your body decides to send it. Step 4. The tiny pinch of sea salt. We just talked about draining fluid out of your legs during the day. This step is the other half of that, getting your body to hold the right amount of water at the right time, instead of dumping it all overnight. Your adrenal glands control how tightly your body holds minerals and water. Stress those glands, and you can lose too much fluid during the day, which sets up a flood at night. A tiny pinch of natural, unrefined sea salt gives your adrenals trace minerals they can use to tighten that fluid retention back up. And I don't mean table salt from a shaker. I mean a real pinch of Celtic sea salt or another unrefined source, roughly the amount that fits between your thumb and fingertip. Take it with a small sip of water 30 to 60 minutes before bed. And that's the whole step. No teaspoons, no tablespoons, just a pinch. If you're on a strict low-sodium plan for a medical condition, skip this one or run it past your practitioner. For everyone else, that small mineral signal can make a surprising difference in how often your bladder calls. And it sets up the last piece, which is the one most people get completely backwards. Step 5. The golden hour hydration rule. This is where most people quietly sabotage themselves. They drink a big glass of water right before bed thinking it's the healthy move. For your bladder, it does the opposite. As we age, our bodies make less of a hormone called ADH, or antidiuretic hormone. During deep sleep, your body normally releases extra ADH to concentrate your urine, and slow how fast your bladder fills. When ADH drops, your kidneys keep cranking out thin, watery urine all night, and your bladder fills fast. A full glass of water at bedtime feeds that problem directly. So the rule is simple. Stop drinking large amounts of liquid 2 hours before you lie down. Small sips are fine if you're genuinely thirsty. No full glasses past that point. Watch the hidden evening diuretics too. Herbal teas, coffee after mid-afternoon, and alcohol all push your kidneys to make more urine even after you fall asleep. Alcohol is the sneakiest because it irritates the bladder and suppresses ADH at the same time. 2 hits against your sleep at once. Front-load your fluids instead. Drink most of your water before 4 in the afternoon, then taper to sips through the evening. And better deep sleep supports your own ADH production, so the honey and magnesium steps make this one work even better. So your bladder was never the villain here. It's the messenger. Fix the liver fuel, the leg fluid, the muscle tension, the mineral balance, and the hydration timing, and the bladder quiets down on its own. Try the honey and the leg trick tonight. Add magnesium this week, and let your body show you what works. I'll see you in the next one.